Alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at all of the Constellation series. So yeah, let's get into it. So first off we have the Constellation Andromeda, and that's the first one we're going to be looking at. So let's jump straight inside and have a look. So when you come upstairs you have the bridge right here, but you also have your sitting area here which you can deploy a table, which is quite nice. We have what would be storage here. We have a bathroom area here. We have a lot of storage here. Some weapon racks here. A bunch of bunk beds for everyone to share. And yeah, to log on and off. And here is a little cargo bay along with where we keep our missiles, which is pretty cool. Obviously we can send this up and down and accept or remove cargo. We could even maybe fit a really small vehicle in here as well. Moving on further back, we have some components on either side, and then as we get to the very back, we have our little small snub ship that is attached to the ship, and we can use it to either exit the ship or to just fly out and help in fights. But yeah, as you can see here, we have a lot of missiles in here, and we also have a airlock on either side, along with an airlock right here. Now as we head into the bridge, this area is also engineering, and also has a bunch of components all over here as well in this corner. We have 2 man turrets, one lower and one upper. You can choose which one you want to be. We have a co-pilot seat, another co-pilot seat, and the pilot seat in the middle. Now when we jump in the pilot seat, we'll have access to 4 guns and a whole bunch of missiles. So yeah, these are just normal CF repeaters, size 5 repeaters for normal laser cannons. They're very decent. I mean, they do a decent chunk of damage, but when trying to shred through hull and things like that, these can be a little bit of a problem with them being CF, but again, it just depends on what kind of ship you are fighting. Anyways, swapping over to missiles, we have a whole bunch of size 1s and a whole bunch of size 2s. Now the size 2s are obviously the Strike Force 2s, and the size 1s are the Marksmans. Now, obviously, we have 24 of them, so it's not like we're going to run out anytime soon. So we can just fire them off however and whenever we please. But we're having a bit of an issue and it's not firing right now. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, that's pretty odd, but yeah. So the Constellation Andromeda, which is the ship that I'm in right now and we're touring, is a multi-role kind of cargo ship, and it also is a gunship because of the immense amount of guns that it has. So not only does it have the 2 turrets on the top and the bottom and the top, you know what I mean? It also has 4 guns for the pilot, which is pretty insane when you come to think about it. It is a medium class kind of ship, even though it is quite big. But again, still, it has a lot of weapons and a lot of missiles. Alright, so the Constellation Aquila is next. And this is one of the smaller variants of the Constellation series. Very, very slightly smaller, as you can see. This is the size comparison right here. Obviously, this is also a little bit smaller than the others. But again, just because it's smaller doesn't mean it isn't packing some manpower. So again, in here we have the same layout as before, but in the back it might be slightly different. It's not really. I mean, it does still have the cargo area. I will obviously talk about cargo space in the end, about all of them, and tell you the differences between them. But as we can see, we do have less missiles in this one, because this one is more of an exploration ship than anything else. Again, we've got our components and another little snub ship in the back. So yeah, not too bad at all. Again, another airlock, same with the other side. And then as we come back through, the airlock at the top, the living area, the pisser. And we do actually have some nicer lighting in here. We actually have some bluish hue lighting. And in here, if we go to the pilot seat, we actually have access to 4 size 5 weapons instead of size 4s. So this is quite good. It's very good actually. Now this thing only has less missiles just purely because it has a lot more focus on size 2s rather than including the size 1s. So we have 24 Strike Force 2s. Again, we can fire them off. They'll fly upwards and bash the ceiling. So yeah, again, we do have the downstairs and upstairs turret, which also are size 3s, but they are CF repeaters. So they are alright. They're not that bad, but still, against heavier ships, they might be a little bit of an issue. But yeah, on to the next. So skipping over from those two, we had to move on to the Phoenix. And we're going to head on up into the luxury class ship, which again, this area here looks the same due to it being for the crew. The crew is where obviously we would sleep and things like that, and then obviously fly the ship, which again, this still also has a luxury feel to it because all of the seats are made out of white premium RSI materials rather than the normal standard chairs. And obviously we'll come back to these cannons later and talk about what kind of sizes they are, but let's go and have a look in the back of the Phoenix. So in the back of the Phoenix we step into a very luxury-like feel. Obviously this is RSI ships, so there's not many RSI ships that are actually very, very luxury, but this is very, very nice, and I think RSI should maybe invest in making some more luxury ships. Anyways, we have a nice bedroom here with a fish tank in it, and a nice screen. It's very small, but again, this is a smaller ship, so it's pretty fair that there's only small rooms. In here we have the same kind of bed with a screen and a bunch of pillows against the side, with it again another fish tank. As we move into here, we have some premium spaces for passengers to sit, maybe read or watch TV, or just admire the view out the windows. Same goes for over here. We have an area for our passengers to sit together, or even if it was maybe just for the crew, and a large bar area for everyone to, come and get some drinks and indulge in space from the roof. Now over here we have actually a larger area for our fish tank, larger fish tank, and in here I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be, but let's have a look. Is there anything in here? No, it's just components. Okay, so these are just components, but again, this is just a small thing on the floor. I'm assuming it's like some sort of carpet with an RSI logo on it. It's either that or some sort of luxury logo. But again, this doesn't do anything, so this is just a small little area for maybe people to go and stand and have a chat at. In this area over here, there isn't anything there. It is just this room here. In this room here, we have what you could maybe call the master bedroom, where everyone would come to sleep. And yeah, they would obviously just go to sleep, as it depends on how many people you could fit in the room. But you can barely just see through, but I'm assuming this is supposed to be double-sided, considering this side is clear. But yeah, that's the master bedroom. Close that off now. Now, if you haven't already seen this, there's a little hatch right here, which we'll come back to in a second. Now, as we move down, we've got even more components in the walls. Again, the normal components in the back, and finally, a snub fighter in the back. Now, heading back through, like I said, we would head back to this little secret hatch here. Now, this actually leads us down to the downstairs garage area, where we can maybe hold a little car in here, or even some cargo, depending on what you choose to store in here. Obviously, it isn't as big as some of the others, but again, there is plenty room for at least a car. Now heading back up, this will obviously fall back into the floor, quite nice, and we'll head back down towards the bridge. Now coming back to the bridge, this thing again has size 5 cannons, so it's actually very, very powerful cannons, and they're actually very, very nice. So this thing does only have size 1 missiles though, and they're all marksman level. However, the turrets on the top and the bottom are all CF 337 Panther repeaters. So they're alright, they're not that bad, but again, it is just a case of what kind of ships you'll be encountering. But at the end of the day, this is a very nice ship. It is actually given off the luxury vibes, not just for the passengers, but also for the crew as well. So it's not like the passengers are the only ones living in luxury. The crew actually do get a little bit of luxury, but not obviously as much as the passengers do. Now moving on to the Constellation Taurus. Now the Constellation Taurus is a very big ship. It's like about the same size as the Phoenix, but obviously for other reasons. And what is them other reasons, you might ask? Well, this ship is just simply a cargo hauler. It's made and specifically designed for small bounty kind of interactions, but also has a hell of a lot more room for your box missions and cargo missions. So again, this is RSI's way of basically getting into cargo hauling. Again, it comes with a lot of missiles. Obviously, maybe it's not as much as the Andromeda, but it is still a very, very big contender. Now again, at the back we do have a snub ship, but again, it is a lot longer in here than some of the other versions. We do obviously have our normal components. Oh, I swear we used to have a snub fighter in here. Oh well, that's a shame, but it is what it is. My bad. That's my bad for saying that. I did actually think we used to have a snub fighter, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong actually. Probably thinking of the like Aquila or something. But again, I think that's the only downside with the Taurus. The fact that it is a cargo fighter without a snub ship at the back to escape if someone tries to steal your cargo. And obviously, if you are getting boarded, that's kind of like doomsday for you. Now, don't get me wrong, this thing obviously comes with its CF repeaters of size 5, which is a little bit weaker towards larger ships. But again, this thing does come with a lot of size 2s, but it also has the same repeaters, just size 3 on the cannons. So if you're going to use this, you could maybe swap out for some better weapons, and obviously it would still be worthwhile. However, let's go ahead and talk about cargo sizes, locations where to buy it, and how much this thing and these things will actually set you back in the pledge store. First up on the list is the Constellation Andromeda. Now this thing will house you 96 SCU of storage, but if you want to buy it in game, it is going to set you back 9.6 million AUEC. And if you are wanting to buy it on the pledge store, this thing is going to set you back a whopping $240. Constellation Aquila is coming in at 96 SCU of storage, but again, you can only buy this in Lowville and New Deal. You can buy it for 11.5 million or 11.6 give or take. And if you want to buy it on the pledge store, this thing will set you back $315 US. Now the Constellation Phoenix, being luxury, will only give you 80 SEU of cargo space, but will also be 14 million AUEC if you head over to Hurston to buy it. That is the only place you can buy it, you cannot buy it anywhere else. Now again, remember, Phoenix is actually a luxury class ship, so it will cost you a little bit more on the pledge store, meaning that this ship is actually $350 on the pledge store. Now finally, we are going to finish off on the Taurus. This thing will have you allow you to have 174 SEU of cargo space. You will actually be able to buy this at Lowville for 7.6 million or in Nix on Levski for 8 million. Now, if you want to buy this on the pledge store, this thing will set you back $200 US, and only $200 US compared to the rest of them. Now anyways, that has been all for the Constellation series. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, and bye for now.